Good afternoon. My name is David Carlton, and quick thanks to our hosts and sponsors and to the audience for coming out. Catalyst Kitchens is a collaborative network of food service social enterprises. We have a shared vision to empower lives through applied job training, to nourish bodies and minds through quality food service, and to achieve sustainability through social enterprise. Catalyst Kitchens is working to scale its impact by completing the development of over 100 programs nationwide by 2016, and by leveraging our collaborative to support and sustain our mission activities. So here's the problem. Most likely not new news to anyone in this audience. In the 70 communities that Catalyst has worked with so far across the country, we're all working against a very strong tide. I had an extreme reminder recently visiting 3 of our members in southern Louisiana. Louisiana has the highest incarceration rate in the world. New Orleans has the highest murder rate in the country, and I think that means in the world. And youth unemployment and general trauma are epidemic. Unfortunately, many of the current solutions have actually become part of the problem. In spite of a lot of money flowing into New Orleans, there are still very few tangible and sustainable paths out of these cycles of incarceration, poverty, and joblessness. So Catalyst Kitchen represents one solution of many that are needed to change the tide. Our model revolves around these 3 primary tenets: empowerment through food service-based training, community service through quality food service, and sustainability through social enterprise. In addition to championing these tenets, Catalyst Kitchens drives the replication of this model and provides centralized resources in order to build, strengthen, and sustain our membership. A solid, tangible path out requires a comprehensive approach, one that addresses health and wellness, provides essential life and employability or soft skills, as well as applied technical skills. Catalyst Kitchens uses food as a vehicle to deliver the tools and the confidence that individuals need in order to make a commitment, to set goals, and to transform their lives. The power of food helps trainees connect with their work in a way that many of them, most of them, never have before. This allows them to set and work towards their goals, again, with commitment and with confidence. Food service offers us a very unique opportunity for experiential training. Its very nature provides comprehensive learning opportunities. In order to work in a busy kitchen, our trainees have to provide communication skills. They have to work as part of a team. They have to be tolerant of those that they work with. And they have to proactively solve problems. The power of this environment is especially strong when meal production delivers broader community impact, such as nutritious meals for schools and shelters. Through this production with purpose, trainees build confidence and commitment as they become part of the solution by giving back to the community. With social enterprise as a key tenet of the model, we have a built-in level of sustainability that many, perhaps most, more traditional training approaches don't have. In addition to Meals for the Community, Catalyst Kitchen members operate cafeterias, catering businesses, commissary kitchens, cafes, restaurants, and many other types of food service enterprise. Trainees, because of the program structure, trainees are an integrated and essential part of all enterprise success, and they take great pride and ownership as they work towards accomplishing their goals. So our three primary tenets and the combined outcomes of these three tenets are at the heart of our theory of change. Applied skills training equals empowerment and lowering of barriers to employment. Quality food service equals increased nutrition and better health for those in need. And social enterprise equals increased sustainability and provides a real-life training environment. When it comes to scaling our model and its impact, we start with an old African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So, in addition to collaboration, collective impact is key, as is the strength of the backbone organization to organize and support that collaboration and to drive and track that collective impact. Finally, that backbone organization also serves to provide guidance and expertise to scale the model itself. So in effect, we're scaling dual areas of impact. The replication of a unique and proven model, and the development and support of a collaborative network. The growth of regional programs is supported by centralized resources, and the complete circle represents mutually reinforcing efforts that all work together to scale the model both locally and nationally. After a successful 4-year pilot, Catalyst Kitchens relaunched last year as an organized collaborative network. In addition to inspiring and guiding model replication, we have a strong foundation for the collaborative, and we also have an effective, scalable backbone organization in place. Our 5-year goals include achieving greater than 50% self-sustainability for the backbone organization and raising over $3 million for Catalyst Kitchen grant awards to approved members. Member ownership of our collective impact is also key to scalability. Shared success and vision helps us define and enforce standards, establish and track shared metrics and goals, and generally to amplify our mission activities. 2011 dollars generated came in more than twice our original projection, but most importantly, the number of trainees and meals also beat 2011 projections, and all three are on track to beat 2012. Funds are self-generated by Catalyst Kitchens through fee-for-service revenues and membership dues. A main objective of our financial plan is that once our capacity building bubble is completed over the next 2 years, the amount of donated funds that we rely on for the backbone organization will go down as our level of self-sustainability goes up. We're currently in our first round of grant awards, passing through a $400,000 investment from Walmart, and our goal is to increase award totals from $400,000 to $750,000 annually to drive incremental growth and to support a growing membership. So to summarize the forces driving our scalability, we have a clear, focused, and proven model, a strong, centralized backbone organization, a well-defined and supported model development path, the participation of a diverse peer network, the leverage and amplification of collective impact, and the development, tracking, and enforcement of shared standards and metrics. Thanks for your time. Let's open it up to questions.
David, I think my first question is, it doesn't seem like you're raising enough money for your own back office operations. I know you put that in there. It seems like there's, I guess, to scale the way you would want to scale, I would think that you, I guess my own opinion, you'd be looking for more money to kind of maybe do some of the things quicker or to have a bigger reserve. So maybe you could comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the goals of our approach is to increasingly involve our members in ownership of network activities. So for example, we have peer exchanges that Catalyst Kitchen sponsors and actually pays for the travel, but our approved members are the ones that are actually doing those peer exchanges and providing the backbone organization with the information they gain through those exchanges. We've also started utilizing our members to go and do standards review and judge other new up-and-coming members so that the onus is not all. Seattle is a really long way away from everywhere. So if we can help it, we don't want to get on a plane every time that somebody needs a standards review. So we have Mike Curtin at DC Central Kitchen, Janet Davis at Liberty's Kitchen, who are fully capable of going to visit organizations that are closer to them than we are and conduct some of that work.
Hi, David. Really like your presentation, and I like the idea of Catalyst Kitchen. I have a question about accountability of your members. Mm-hmm. You described the organization as aspiring to be a seal of approval, if you will, for this kind of a model. Can you talk a little bit about how you are going to hold your members accountable, and what happens if they don't meet the standard review at the end of the year? Do you bounce them? Is there a process to help them get up to scale and speed where you want them? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we have standards defined in all three of those primary tenant areas. And they're standards that, for the most part, model members have agreed to. The network is structured in two levels. There's rising members and model members. We hold model members accountable to a very high level of standards. There's actually, in the business plan, it's 2 pages. I think there are over 100 very specific individual elements, model elements that we're judging. So it's a very specific approach to measuring standards. For rising members, our goal is to move them up to model member status. But right now, we're only applying those standards to model members. How we accomplish that is simple. We need leverage. So Catalyst Kitchen Grant Awards, the $400,000 that we're passing through from Walmart, gives us a significant amount of leverage to encourage our members to meet those standards, because if they don't, they will get bumped from model to rising. We have a whole process that we've worked out where they'd have 6 months to cure. So if any of those areas of standards they're not meeting, we're going to provide analysis and recommendations that we hope they will follow, and we'll give them 6 months to cure. And if they can't pull that off in 6 months, then they're going to drop down to rising member. We have, I'm not going to mention who they are, but we do have one model member now that's had a bunch of turnover in the organization. It's a $15 million organization. They have a new CEO, They run 15 programs, and they've had turnover at the management level. They're not meeting a number of our standards, and they know it. In fact, the manager who's in charge of the food service social enterprise actually asked us to fail them so that she could deliver the message above. But they did pass, but they're on the cusp of not meeting some of the standards.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I had a question for you, because from the health funding perspective, we sometimes see versions of this model applying for obesity program work, but always very small, mom and pop type organizations, great people, but not very big, exactly what we're trying to help people grow here today. Where do you and how do you attract new members to this network, given this very wide group of people who are interested in the cause?
So I'm hearing two questions there. One is focused on nutrition, and the other is attracting members. Have I got that right?
I'm actually more interested in the second one.
Okay.
How do you expect, what you need to attract is dues-paying members for this to work. Where do you get them from?
So the Rising membership is a very low barrier to entry. It's a $500 annual membership. Our goal with all members is to provide them significantly more value than the cost of their membership. So for example, Rising members, we just got a sponsorship from a manufacturer of thermometers. And our goal is for every student in all of our member programs to have a thermometer in their pocket. We're going to be providing our Rising members with thermometers that will be worth more than $500. We're going to provide travel stipends for them to come to our annual summit, which is being held at St. Mary's in Phoenix. So the value that we provide them helps not only attract, but keep them engaged and retain them as they track towards model membership.
So let me ask one more way that question, which is if I'm on, say, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, how do I learn about your organization in order to join it? We have, quite frankly, been in more of a reactive mode for the last 5 years. And with the launch of Catalyst Kitchens, we're taking a much higher profile and a much more proactive approach to reaching out to organizations across the country. For the most part, we're targeting markets that have populations of 500,000 or more. We have launched programs in more rural areas, and the sustainability is much more difficult. The majority of the programs that we work with are currently providing meals to the community in some fashion. We were in Chicago working with Catholic Charities, and they're a perfect example. They're providing 1,500, 2,000 meals a day to their communities, but they view it as a program. And it's a program that loses money every year. And so the conversation we have is to try to get them to shift to seeing their food service as an enterprise. And the language that we're putting out there and the approach and the development path, they found us. So it's through the Social Enterprise Alliance. It's through word of mouth is, as always, the best advertising you can get. And you know, when you do a search on the internet, you find Fair Start and you find Catalyst Kitchens, as well as other members like DC Central Kitchens and Inspiration Corporation in Chicago.
I have a last question. Oh, can I ask one last question?
I want to make sure we have more time because I can't see the timer.
Minute 30.
Minute. 1 minute.
I'm only yellow. I'm not red yet.
Collecting data is an important part of your plan. Can you describe how you are going to validate what your members are putting into your system to make sure, because part of your case is we're having this kind of impact. Right. Can you just describe how your validation is going to work?
Again, it's through standards review. So if one of my team goes for a standards review at a model member, and they say they have X number of students over the course of a year, and we walk into a kitchen and there are only 5 students, and we do the math, that's a way to you know, measure and check those standards. And the other part of that is the relationships that we build with our members are very, very strong. I mean, again, going back to the ownership that we need them to take in this in order for it ultimately to be meet the level of success that we see. There's an element of trust that is really paramount to those relationships. But we do go and verify it in person. 12 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Thanks, everybody.